This is a story about chocolate. Not just any chocolate. It's about the very best chocolate in the world and the dream of one man to produce it. All the way from bean to bar. This is the story of Willie Harcourt Coues and his chocolate factory. Willie's road to producing the best chocolate in the world has not been an easy one.
I need the money because I need to balance the books and I've got to pay the workers their annual prestaciones.
The euphoria of a great harvest in Venezuela...
All my boys think it's some sign of God because we're going to start making chocolate.
...has turned into grim reality at the factory back in Tiverton.
That's cracked.
With debts huge and mounting.
I need another £30,000.
Oh. And creditors losing patience.
Layman's terms, you remember a couple of weeks ago we had the bailiffs on the door. They want the next payment.
Ahead lies the monumental challenge of delivering 3,000 bars of 100% cocoa on time and at a cost which will produce a profit.
Willie's in here all night, get back to the chocolate dragon in the morning, he's like...
I need to sell tons of this stuff.
But if the chocolate doesn't sell, could Willie's dream finally be over?
Does this product actually have to make you any money?
No, I'd like nothing more, but I cannot do it. No, I'm immersed. You can't even believe. I just don't have enough people there.
The pressure on Willie is mounting as he faces the reality of single-handedly producing 3,000 bars of 100% cocoa for Selfridges.
I cannot do it.
I'm under pressure. I'm up against the wall. I've got massive order. I'm trying to explain to Tanya, this is where it's got to be at the beginning, just to get it off the ground, to get some turnover and some checks in. Then we'll be able to get some people in to help. Even I'm feeling the stress.
I hardly see him anymore. I don't have time. I've got my list gets longer. What do I got to talk to Will about this and that and that, and then the kids and the school and the things, all these different things going on. And the list just gets longer and I can't talk to him about it all. And when I do get him, he goes, I can't talk about it now.
I've got an order to complete. I've got a launch. I've got an opening party. I'm on the edge. I almost feel that sometimes, certainly when I get late into the night, that I've bitten off too much to chew. I've bitten off too much.
To produce 3,000 bars by the deadline, Willie's tiny factory has to be working 20 hours a day. And with Tanya running the house and looking after the kids, there's no one but Willie to make it happen. He's a one-man industry, warehouseman, labourer, production manager and marketeer. And on top of that, Willie's committed to an opening party to thank people who've helped along the way. The timing could hardly be worse.
Everybody's at full stretch at the moment. Willie's working 24/7 and I'm working 24/7 and there's a lot going on. It's the usual thing. Every time I think it's going to get better, it just gets a little bit worse.
Tanya's giving me this, slight kind of emotional pressure because she's tired, that I'm not spending enough time with the kids, that I haven't done enough quality things with them, which is true. But, all this I'm trying to say to her is about, those things.
Willie thinks maybe he can kill two birds with one stone, so he nips back for a couple of hours with the kids and spends them experimenting with chocolate.
Whoa, you got a wabby, you mo. We're going to make Easter eggs. Anyone can make them. We've got some little moulds, cheap, bought wherever you like. Wabbits, eggs, ducks, chickens, easy as pie. I've got my own chocolate, so I've mixed a bit of cocoa butter in, some sugar with my 100%, but of course you can buy that in like a plain chocolate, can't you? OK, would you like them quite sweet, you guys? You probably do, don't you? Yeah? You going to mix that in?
Yeah.
Yeah? There's a lot in there. Let me have a look how much chocolate you got there. Does it look... Oh. Oh. Is that white chocolate you're making?
Mix, Evie. You've got to get it mixing.
This is smoky, look. Can you see that smoke? Can I have that go over that dough? Let me have a go to scoop it in.
No.
They don't like you to help,
Can you scoop the...
Oh, yeah, OK, I'll do that a little bit now. OK, so what we've got there...
Hey, Daddy!
You know what you need? You need a bit more cocoa butter, darling. I'll put a little bit more cocoa that in. Oops. All right? Because that makes it nice and runny. Should we put it over there now? Yeah. OK. Come on, you're coming over. You've got to be very careful on the heat.
Can I have a go?
Can Sophie have a go?
No.
OK. Do you want to do the temperature checking?
No!
I thought you...
I'll do the stirring.
OK, and you do the temperature thing. So you pop that in, turn it around, put it in, let's see the numbers are going up. Oh, my gosh, that's hot.
I'm doing them.
I'm just tempering it. I'm going to heat it up to about 45, cool it to 27, and then heat it up to 31. Now, that's just so the chocolate crystallises right. It's just a hand tempering it. OK, I'm coming. You ready? Let's do it, guys. What egg, Evie, what egg are you doing? You doing a rabbit? Wobble it around, OK?
Yeah, I'm going to make
Wobble
chicken.
it around like this. Look, go all the way around the mould.
Chicken for me?
All right.
No, because it's dangerous.
I know, but you've got to get there before it goes hard.
Quick, the other half.
All the way up to the edges.
The other half
all
here.
edges. You're juggling. Keep going. So
OK. Now we get it to the edges. Turn it like this. Get it all the way to the edge. Whoa! Don't let it fall out. Now roll it round to the side. Ooh. Ooh, you've got a bit there more. Look.
Not easy.
Can I do it?
It's Mum.
Yeah, you
Evie's very good at it. Do you see how easy it is? Whoa, do you want to have a go with my one? And then I'll have a go with your one. You're a clever girl, aren't you, Evie?
Have you been tasting it, Evie?
Yeah.
And?
For a couple whiles.
For a couple whiles.
Eve, what are you doing?
Even if he manages to produce the order for Selfridges against the deadline, it won't be enough. Being stocked in a prestigious London store is great, but if his business is to survive and prosper, Willie urgently needs his chocolate to be available nationwide. He's keen not to put all his eggs in one basket.
Can I have the egg? No.
I've been having conversations with this guy, Chris Moore, at Waitrose for a few months now. And he sounds like a nice guy. I definitely get the right kind of feeling. He seems to understand the language of chocolate that I'm talking to him, but you never know. Tanya! Darling, have you seen the keys? I've sent him some bars, but he's never tasted the truffles. So, you know, it's one thing to send the bar, people look at it, they can't really eat it, they don't really know what to do. They probably thinks the packaging is nice. But really, the clinch is the truffles. He's got to taste those flavours, really.
If Willie can get his product into a high street store, it could be transformational for his business.
Waitrose could mean, it could be the answer to a lot of problems, you know. If I could move volume like that, it would certainly create some good cash flow, which I'm desperate for. The guy that I'm about to meet could potentially, you know, change my life. Thank you.
It is difficult getting a product into a retailer like us, of course it is, because we've just got to make sure there's potential customer demand for it.
Willie, good to finally meet you.
Hi, Chris.
And as buyers, it's important that we source exciting, innovative, creative products for our customers. We want to keep the point of interest for them.
I've got 3 different bars. Now, this one's from my own farm. This is a limited edition. These 2 are in much larger supply. This is produced by the brokers I work with on their own farm.
OK.
And this is sourced from an area called Barlavento in Venezuela. You get out of a car, 2 hours, 3 hours, and go straight into those meetings. And you know, I don't know the stuff like they know it. And I always get on that. He says, what about the product? And I always get on this thing about, and I start rabbiting and telling him about this and this. And then I suddenly think, am I boring? You never know how they're doing it. You know, not only did I grow that one, but I also have made it, you know, from the bean.
Right.
Which makes it a bit more costly, obviously.
Right, OK, hence the proposed retail price.
Hence the proposed retail price.
It's not often that Willie is struggling for words, and the meeting is so crucial for the business that his best bet is to let the taste speak for itself.
OK, well, let's try them.
Yeah, so I've made you these truffles. So the easiest way to try the chocolate is to taste it in a Grenache form, really.
OK. So shall we try the one from your own estate first?
Shall we do that? Yeah.
OK. Very soft. It melts beautifully in the mouth. A nice, smooth, rich, dark flavour. Very nice. But I suppose the key thing for me is, will customers buy it? And the retail selling price that you're proposing is relatively high, and certainly higher than anything I've got within the range. So you really need to convince me that it's going to be the right thing for me to do.
Well, I think it's almost there isn't a price to put on the chocolate. I mean, the amount of from a business point of view, I should probably put it much higher, because it literally is, you know, from the hand. It's roasted. The beans are hand sorted.
I think the key thing is getting that point over to our customers.
Yeah.
How do you intend to market the product?
Well, it's in its uniqueness. You know, the fact it's simply unrivaled.
But success for Willie could be almost as bad as failure, because if he gets a big order right now and can't fulfill it, retailers will soon lose confidence and he'll be back where he started.
If I do decide to take these products, are you going to be okay with the amount that you can supply into our store?
I think I've been thinking about this, and I think if I have an equal size order as a backup for any sort of, you know, huge demand for the new chocolate, then yes, that would cover us, really. That would. What I'm really not looking forward to is the answer, I'll get back to you in a few days. I mean, if that happens, then obviously I've wasted my time.
I do have the final decision on this, but I just need to go away for a couple of days and think about it.
If Willie can't get his product into a nationwide retailer, there's a risk he'll be confined to a prestigious but niche market. Everything depends on getting good news in the days ahead.
It could be the answer to all my problems, hey?
It's 5 days since news of the Selfridges order, and getting everything ready at the factory is taking all the hours there are. Willie still can't afford to hire any full-time help and cannot spare even the time it takes to drive home, so has been grabbing naps wherever he can. Ahead of him, Willie has the marathon task of turning the beans he's imported from Venezuela into 3,000 of his 100% cocoa bars.
I feel like a 747 clipping the trees at the moment. Big and cumbersome.
And his state of mind hasn't been improved by the fact that he's had the order by word of mouth, but so far has nothing on paper.
I've been to the bank manager. Bank manager's, yeah, you know, but show me some orders. Trying to get a purchase order out of Selfridges is pretty difficult. You know, that's how business operates. Purchase orders, invoicing, you know, it's just the official way of doing things.
Oh, God's sake.
I just think I'm going to waste that chocolate if I put it in there. T, are you coming down to clean? Listen, the thing is, I'm just running my hand along the bottom of the tanks, and it just comes out black. With a purchase order, I can go to the bank and say, look, here, there's business coming in. And then the bank knows that once I've made the order, I can invoice them, and I can also raise money on the invoices instantly. I don't even have to wait for the money. Purchase order, invoice, cash. I've got so much to do, T. Okay, yeah, whatever, I don't know, yeah. No, I don't, that's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, to little old me, it's the world. To them, it's just another buy.
The mayhem that is life in the Harcourt Coos household is about to get even worse, because the long-planned grand opening of the factory is today. Friends and family who've pitched in along the way have all been invited, and Willie and Tanya have no choice but to do all the catering themselves.
Trying to get everything done in time is difficult when you've got work stacking up behind you as well. So I was doing a late night, fix it on the machines, 11 o'clock last night, saying to myself, I'll just concentrate on getting the party out today and try and stop myself doing any work, but it's impossible. Hopefully the kids are probably helping Tanya prep some stuff. You know, the boiler's down at the house, there's no hot water. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're under pressure, man.
Tanya is pressing on with cooking the chicken mole they're going to serve later, but Willie can't resist giving his advice.
It's crazy. It's the opening of the factory. Got machines falling off trucks. Willie's in a stinking mood. He's trying to do everything. I mean, he'd teach me how to turn the kettle on right now if he could, you know?
But by the time you reheat it and do it, it will all fall off the bone.
No, it won't, Willie. We've already discussed it.
Because you see, it carries on cooking when you turn it off with the lid on.
We're going to turn it off and we're just going to...
Leave it there, yeah, I know, and
okay.
It carries on cooking. That's why you cook it for 25 minutes, leave the top on, and leave it. And then when you reheat it...
OK, well...
Mole's classic. It's one of those ones we always do at home in Venezuela. Always takes me home. Back to the patio, back to friends coming round. I'm gonna make a chicken mole. Classic Mexican dish, probably which had its roots in the Aztecs' hot chocolate drink. And this is a spicy chocolate sauce, which we're gonna cook the chicken in. I've got some peanuts, cinnamon, anise, a few cloves, and I'm gonna roast these herbs to bring out the flavors. Put a few onions, chop them up. Mole means sauce, and with the sauce, we're gonna blend it afterwards. A little bit of garlic. Now I'm gonna use the thighs and legs of 3 chickens. I never put breasts in it, it just goes dry. I'm just gonna quickly get my herbs out, which you haven't forgotten, never burn. My spices. Here we goes my spices. Whoa, they're lovely and toasty. Hot work in jungle cooking. People have pestle and mortars, and they might have been making grind, and they're great, but you can never really get in there and smell those spices, quite literally. Now that is beautiful, you see? Now look at that, for beautiful, lovely ground spices. Spices are in you go. Off the heat, in go the peanuts. Get my chicken, it's hot. In goes the chicken. So let's just stir it in. I'll get a few nice ripe tomatoes. And the tomatoes, just roughly chop them. You're gonna Maggi mix it, or you're gonna blend it, so it really doesn't matter after all. My pasilla chilies, I'm gonna take them out. I basically always use dry chilies. I'm gonna take any seeds out, okay? Out come the seeds, and I'm just gonna throw them into the mix. Gonna give that a little stir. And the chicken's browning beautifully. Chocolate, I'm gonna use 100%. Beautiful, you can see that lovely, fresh, soft brown. Look at the crumbly, pure cacao. I'm gonna put in 150 grams. I'm one of those messy cookers. Renowned for it. There we go. This one, este. Okay. Now, the secret to almost anything that you make saucy is the stock. And there you go. So it's been cooking for about 35 minutes now. And I can smell, if I take my hand off that, I can smell that is amazing. I mean, if you've not ever eaten mole, you'll have never smelled anything like that. So I'm just gonna put my little, pop that back. Put it back on the heat. I'm gonna put my chicken back in. Just check that now. Wow. Now that's very interesting because the peppers that I was lucky enough to be able to source are incredible. Now I'm gonna leave that for another 20 minutes of the sauce. It'll have had altogether about an hour. Take it off the stove. I'll leave it till tomorrow. I'll cook some rice. I'll basically put that on when I start my rice and it's ready.
Have you sorted the mousse out? Is it done? Have you done the mousse? Is it all packed and ready to go, Will?
Don't get stroppy. Why is it? Where are the seeds coming from?
You. The chilies. He fusses when he's bored. If he hasn't got his own stuff to fuss about, he'll come and interfere with me and fuss about my stuff, which, you know, that's not so good.
There's only one of the seeds you keep. The hot ones. The other ones you can throw away.
No hot seeds. No, they're not
You
very
had
hot.
three. What kind of chilies you got? Remember those chilies, Sophie?
You know what, Will? Rather than criticise me about the cooking, which is already done, why don't you just get on with something else?
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I know.
Hold on, Will, don't mess about.
Don't mess about with
No,
the
seriously,
mole.
don't muck about, Will.
I'm not mucking about. I'm just going to quickly make a chocolate mousse. I'm trying to get ahead of time.
Tanya is busting my chops that, as usual, I've left everything to the last minute. I put this party off so many times, I can't even remember. I've still not got, you know, things running fluently, my system's running fluently, but, you know, all the machines are working, you know, and I'm gonna, you know, I want to give everybody a demo of how Willie's Chocolate Factory works. Tanya's got all her girlfriends coming from school. It says they've never tasted chocolate. You know, I think they were beginning to think that it was a whole fictitious thing. I'd rock up to school to pick the kids up, sometimes covered in chocolate, and they'd see me, and then I'd just be an apparition, and Tanya said, yeah, he's building the chocolate factory. I can never go out to dinner because I'm always busy. I'm doing this, that, the other. So, you know, I want to sort of like say, hey, yeah, make my mark with them all. Like, yeah, not only have I built this factory, but look at the chocolate, isn't it good? Okay, so yeah, big night. Yeah, I like it. So, and I'm going to do this because it's easy. I can knock it out in a flash. I'm going to beat my yolks right until pale. It's pale. I am going to melt my chocolate. So, I need 150 mils of cream. My favourite mousse. I love mousse. The kids love it because it's light and fluffy. Why chocolate mousse is so great is because we're also having moly, which is strong and spicy. And I think after eating that, no one's really going to feel like a heavy chocolate pudding. But a chocolate mousse, a nice, light, sexy mousse. I'm not sure whether all the kids will like the moly, but everyone's going to like the mousse. You know, the great thing about this mousse is I can make it in batches like I am now and serve it in cups, and it's quick and fast, really. I'm just going to mix my melted chocolate into my egg yolks and sugar. Right. Now I'm going to mix my cream into my melted chocolate egg mix. In goes the cream. Fold it in. In go there, right? And you want to do it quickly because you don't want to beat the air out of the whites. That's really key. But people always get frightened about folding eggs. You literally just lift it up and down, and it's done. And that is mousse. And that, whenever I taste that flavour, that's my own chocolate from Venezuela, from my farm. And whenever I taste those fruity flavours and close my eyes, I'm there on the patio.
Have you got bin liners for the bin?
I don't know, have you?
But that's towels for the bathroom. No, I haven't. Have you?
I always leave them at the last minute. I mean, if I'm going abroad, I pack 5 minutes before I leave. Bentley, you're not coming. It's a party without you. I've got other things more important to do. See, I categorise things in state of importance. I do the important things, and then as I lead up, I just do those last things at the last moment. But we'll get there in the end.
Willie, if you don't get in the car now, you're going to have to walk to the party.
We're going to be late. Quick, Will! Tea!
Mummy's always late, isn't she?
It's a very special day, and it's a very long-awaited day. We're in the right place, it's the right time, Willie's ready, the cacao's ready at the farm. It's taken so much longer than we ever thought it would, but the dream is coming true now. Everyone's going to arrive at 4 o'clock, there's going to be a big party, and then we're into production, which is what we really need.
It's been a long time in coming, but Willie and Tanya's investment of time, sweat and emotional commitment seems to be paying off at last. Big hurdles still lie ahead, crucially his need to get into a high street store. But still, this feels like a moment to stop and to savour.
Guys, just thank you all for coming. This is the opening of Willie's Chocolate Factory. This is a culmination of 15 years of Tanya and my work. And big kiss to my wife for, you know, standing by me all these years. It's the big inaugural party for chocolate in Devon. Willie's Chocolate Factory. Welcome. Are we ready? Stand back. Shops open for business. Yeah, I mean, I think people, yeah, they like it. I think they're fascinated by all the machines, and they love the chocolate moly. And they're looking at the plates, you know, they're eating it all. So, yeah, good first impressions, I think. You know, next step is make these orders that I've got for these thousands of bars next week. I'm steaming, my machine's plumbed in now, and I'm ready to go. I've always been confident about the solidity behind these solid old bits of machinery. As I've always said before, this modern technology, modern circuitry, etc., cannot beat your old-fashioned motors and pulleys. Having passed so many hurdles and to have got over this last hurdle where everything is working, it's up to me, you know, at what velocity I go at to make the amount of chocolate I need to make. I'm looking forward to it. There's no boundaries anymore. I can make chocolate to my heart's content.
But Willie hasn't been able to pay off a penny of his loans, and there is so much still to do. Everything now depends on a successful launch at Selfridges and in being able to extend his customer base beyond. Until now, Willie has produced his cocoa bars in limited batches, but now he has to industrialise the process. 100-year-old equipment may be fun to watch, but will it stand up to the pressures of mass production? And the pressure is telling on Willie too.
Yeah, it's been mental. We started barring up on Sunday. We did 600 bars, and I thought, yeah, I'm moving. And I tried to temper straight out of the tank. Tempering is basically all about the crystallization of the sugar and getting it just right so it doesn't separate. You know, like when chocolate blooms, that's a separation. And they all bloomed, all 600, and it was like, oh, tears. It was like midnight. I just thought, oh, God. Couldn't get them out, because when they don't temper, they don't shrink.
You see, you can tell here, the ones that have marbled and were the wrong temperature. You see that? And then all those will be perfect.
So Monday, I thought, God, what am I going to do? So I rang round, and through an old connection, I've managed to source myself a top-of-the-line tempering machine.
So that meant Willie disappearing on Monday, all through the night, to pick up some machine in the middle of London somewhere, which he knew not how to work, which had no manual, which had no guy explaining, and bring it back here to do the job. It's doing the trick, you know. It's producing 180-gram measures for each mould, which is what we want. It's a complete panic. Every time I leave here, I'm going back to do a mountain of stuff at home. Willie's in here all night. Get back to the chocolate dragon in the morning. He's like, you know, raging, furious.
Last night, I slept 6 hours. The night before, I didn't go home. I stayed in the factory. I didn't sleep. I slept an hour in the morning. I had to stay awake and conch all night to be able to meet this deadline, because if I hadn't conched, then I would have had to conch during the day, which meant I wouldn't have been able to bar up, so it would have just put me completely out, and there's no way we would have made it. When you're really tired, your ears start, you know, that I could hear people talking. I was sort of, what was I singing a song? I took my eye off the ball, that was my song. And that's where I was. I can hear the machines. And I'm so tired, I can hear every little noise, or we say ruido in Venezuela, every little noise of every little cog. And I'm tired.
Willie has been 100% devoted to this, with his usual flair of passion, hostility, anger, just the lot. You know, it's a time bomb in there. And, you know, the machines clunk and grind and the stone rollers go bang, you know, and the whole thing is so Willie, it's quite terrifying. And in bad moments, you can fall deep into sort of feeling really emotional and sad about it. And at the great moments, you know, it's a triumph.
layman's terms, you remember a couple of weeks ago we had the bailiffs on the door. They want the next payment today, and Tanya's asking me about it. I haven't got it, you know. I mean, I don't know what to say. I think that sums it up.
Producing the order is only part of Willie's agreement. He's also promised to stage an in-store launch so that customers will know what to do with the cocoa bars once they've bought them.
Let's go, guys.
This is the first time that Willie's finished product will be on sale to the public for the full retail price, and so it's imperative that the launch goes well. But there's been a disaster. The ice cream he's made to show off the flavour isn't good enough. Willie calls on his old friend Marco Pierre White for advice.
Marco, as well, I've got a hitch. I'm hoping you're going to help me out. And that is, I made some ice cream for my launch at Selfridges, but basically I found it melted too quickly, and I've got a couple of hours where I'm going to be in there giving things out, and it's just not going to last the time. And
Marco has an idea. They should make truffles, and he offers the use of one of his kitchens.
OK, at Frankie's. Brilliant. Oh, you are fantastic. OK, I'll go straight there. That's great. OK, thanks, Marco. Bye.
Brilliant. So we've got the 3 types of cacao. How many truffles do you think we need to make, Will? If you estimate that about 500 people are going to come, what do you reckon? And they try one of each, because they've got to try the different ones. So you need 1,500 truffles, is what we're talking.
Don't need that. There aren't going to be 500 people, darling.
Willie, you get off.
I think there'll be tons of people coming
Get
through.
away.
Or more than 250.
Willie,
Guys, can you stop fighting in the back? Willie, stop it now.
Every single one of them, won't you?
Just stop, William, could you please?
Well.
Stop it.
To even see the marks.
Yeah, but Will, you're the one who's taken off a piece of paper.
Why shouldn't I bite you, William, if you're going to be mean?
Turn right.
I know.
This is the big one.
Where's it going?
Oh, look, we're at Frankie's, everyone.
Don't do that to my bag.
Hi, Callum.
Yeah.
You good? Listen, I've got a big problem. I spoke to Marco, and I've got a launch this afternoon, and I need some truffles. Yeah. And he said you might be able to help me out? Yeah. Yeah? You're brilliant.
Willie has to get to the store to prepare for the launch. The truffles will be sent on later. You know what those days are like, when nothing seems to be going right?
Daddy, I don't want to stay in the middle ever again if he's going to hurt me.
Come on, Will.
That is so mean.
The plan here is I think there's a load of people who are going to turn up, and I'm going to tell them a little bit about the chocolate.
Will you be careful? Let's not have a domino effect of crashing cocoa bars.
I've got some truffles. I'm going to produce them and let people savour those flavours and let them make the decision for themselves. Do you like
This is
espresso in the morning?
100% cacao
You'd
for the
love
first
this.
time ever.
It's a bit like a dream, to be honest with you. When I had all those problems from building the factory, bits going wrong, to 600 bars blooming, you know, last Sunday, to getting a tempering machine, getting it sorted out. You know, it's a little surreal that I'm here with the product behind me, and it's good, and it's the best chocolate I've ever made.
And here to test whether his claim is true is champion chocolatier William Curley, who recently told Willie that his product needed to be more refined.
What do you think of the fineness? I got rid of it. I bought a refiner.
You bought a refiner?
I went to Spain. I thought, William Curley, he has a point. And I picked up a refiner in northern Spain, and I've got the smoothness. You like that?
He has, there's no question. He's improved the smoothness in the chocolate. It's far smoother than it was when he came to see me in Mayfair. It was a good product then. It's obviously a top product now. So yeah, well done to Willie. Yeah.
I mean, it's almost surreal to be standing here, having been down such a long road.
Well, you've done a great job.
Thanks, Ewan.
Good luck.
Much appreciated for your support,
Okay.
really. I've seen people walk out you know, baskets of it. Beyond my dreams. You see someone with a couple, but interesting enough, you know, people love the idea so much, they've not taken just one, they've taken all three, you know, which is, you know, for me, the three kings of cacao. And yeah, I'm happy, you know. The response has been flabbergasting.
It's been 2 weeks since the product launch, and with the hyperactivity behind them, for the moment at least, Willie has some bridges to build with the family.
I got up early. I'm going to make some chocolate biscuits for the kids. I'm taking them to a safari, and yeah, it's their day. You know, I've been at the factory all the time. I never see them. I want to do something for them. I want them to, you know, and I always like putting out a little daddy special, and it's going to be chocolate biscuits.
You want a long jumper?
Oh, I want biscuits. Whoa.
Okay. Cuddy?
No. No. I want a different one from in here.
You gonna wear that?
Yes.
Okay. Will!
Will!
William!
So, quick 100 grams of butter. Ping, pang, it's 100. You don't need to weigh these things sometimes. Yeah, so I'm going to put 150 grams of dark brown muscovy sugar, 100 grams of butter. Put them in together.
Wakey, wakey.
Okay.
That's a nice little smile, first thing in the morning.
We've all made chocolate biscuits when we were younger. Good ones, bad ones. The key, really, is on how long you cook them. You know, if you cook them too much, you're going to make them too hard, too crispy. You just want to almost just undercook them. And that way, by the time they've cooled, you're going to find you've got the perfect biscuit. I'm going to whack in an egg. In fact, I might put 2, because things always go better in 2s. So a couple of eggs. Oh, my almonds. It's lovely. It's fantastic. Now, next, I think I'll put the flour in. 150 grams of flour. Right, chocolate in. Bicky time. So these can go into the oven at 180 for 10 minutes.
Just for once, everyone is keen to do something that's as far away from the factory and chocolate as they can get. A trip to Longleat.
Let's rock! What do you think the lions eat? Bananas? What are you looking forward to seeing the most, though? What's your favourite animal?
The monkey.
Do you want to see the monkeys?
Monkey.
A rare day off for the Harcourt Coos family, but back in central London, business is booming.
The reaction's been absolutely fantastic. Sales it's our best-selling line in the whole shop, which is a first for food. So in unit terms, it's faster than any other line in the store. And if we carry on at this rate, we're going to sell out. It's really captured people's imagination. People are coming in, asking for the product. They're asking for particular flavours of chocolate. So I think the whole conversation we've had with Willie about different flavour profile has really, that message has got across to customers.
Soon. Look, guys, how exciting. Here we go. This is it. We're going into the park.
Yeah, see, I can't see any lines.
No, I know, but we haven't even started yet. Hang on a minute. But look at the pink. Hang on, Will.
Look at these guys here.
Look at that ginormous thing over there.
Look at that stripy thing.
Stop, Willie.
Look at that ginormous
You're not allowed to.
Why? Shut all windows, it says. Shut all windows.
I tell you what do you think they are? We could make junky deer with those guys.
It's perhaps been a bigger surprise than I expected. I was pretty confident that it would be seen as a great cook's ingredient, but through Willie's interpretation of how to use the product in savoury dishes as well as sweet dishes, customers have responded brilliantly. And I think it's really created this craze to get back into the kitchen and start cooking again. Our chefs have in fact been making a cake as well, using the chocolate, and I think we're going to use the ingredient ourselves in many of our restaurants.
Oh my God, look, the monkeys, look.
Wow. Oh my God, look at those guys. Look, and he's going to come feed them a bit.
Oh my God!
Oh, look at the baby! He's got a baby! Look at the one's got a baby over there!
Oh my God! He's surfing.
He's broken my mirror, look!
We're doing mail order as far away as Aberdeen. We've had some European inquiries as well, so I guess people have picked up in continental Europe that this product's available. So I think this has got longevity, and I think there's going to be an awful lot of demand going forward.
Look, can I just say something? That would eat you.
That would suck.
Easy, wouldn't
Look at
it?
the size of this baby.
Evie, they're big, aren't they, darling? Oh, well, look what that lion's doing
They're
over
all
there.
coming. What are they doing?
Look what he's doing over. Look at those.
They can't do anything, guys. Don't be scared.
The successful launch has given a huge boost to Willie's mad chocolate adventure, but he's not out of the woods. Only if he can get his products into a nationwide retailer will his dream start looking like a business which can last. It's been a few weeks since all the build-up and excitement of the launch, and life for Willie and the family business is settling down to the hard graft of producing the chocolate. So far it's all gone well, but the success will be short-lived if there isn't a new order and Willie can't get consistent supply going.
It's been tough. I wake up in the morning and my forearms ache. You know, I'm tired constantly. The kids are fractious, Tanya's fractious.
Oh, right on.
I thought to myself, yeah, it's gonna, you know, I'll get it, I'll get the factory going and get the first order out, and that's fantastic. I mean, I'm overjoyed about it. I see myself having less time and not more time, you know, so it's been a slight illusion as far as being liberated by everything working. In actual fact, I've just got busier and busier.
Low points have been the sheer exhaustion and the hard work, which, you know, I'm the last one to be afraid of hard work, but God, I've got to tell you, that was beyond. That was a real lesson in learning how to manage yourself.
Willie has been waiting by the phone for the call from Selfridges, and at last it comes. Will the enthusiasm of the launch be prolonged into a more consistent demand for Willie's chocolate, or will it be a case of, it's been nice knowing you?
Oh yes, tell me. Wow, that is absolutely fantastic. Yes, that's great. That's music to my ears. Okay, yeah.
The news is better than Willie could have hoped for. The store is sold out, and they want to order another 8,000 bars, and fast.
Yeah, excited. Ewan's ordered a whole load more chocolate. I mean, a truckload for me. This time I won't be able to fit it into the Volvo, the Silver Fox. I'm not going to make that. I find it unbelievable that they could have sold that quantity of chocolate.
8,000 more bars, is that what he's ordered? Oh my God. Well, I don't know, I just feel that all of the years and the passion and the dream and the drive and the fighting and the chaos has led to this, which is amazing. I mean, I couldn't be happier. I can't really compute all of it.
There's another 100 in there. So we could get... We might have had a dream that people were going to go, you know, bonkers about my chocolate, but they've absolutely gone bonkers and it's gone. I've got to check stock. I don't know if I've got that much. He seems to be ordering massive. He obviously thinks this is something that's, you know, started and going to increase.
With the new order of another 8,000 bars to be produced against a deadline before Monday, Willie has at last managed to get some help in the factory.
But you're all right. You're all right. This order doesn't go out until Monday morning.
The challenge for him now is to industrialise the process so he can keep up with demand and establish a reliable supply chain.
We're going to have to work overtime. Bob's agreed to do 24-hour shifts. We'll do swap shifts between us and we'll get that product out there, yeah. So 102, 130. We need 28 more cases. 28 multiplied by 12. I mean, we're talking about in the region of 800-900 cases of 12. I mean, you know, it's big. It's the future, and we're happy.
Everybody always said, I don't know if people are going to buy that, you know, it's a tough one, do they really want to grate it? It's this new ingredient, it's bitter, you can't eat it. Whatever's happening, it's working, you know.
20 times 8.
I love him for what he is, and this is the career he chose, and it's not an easy one. It hasn't been easy to support him and be with him all the way through it. But it's what he always wanted to do, you know. I'm his wife, and I'm here to support him. I love him.
Willie's dream of revolutionising our view of chocolate is halfway to being fulfilled. The 100% bar looks like being a success, and already he's sizing up the big new challenges ahead.
You know, all that I'm really worried about is now I've reached the point I want to in my 100% bars. They're great, people understand it. I just need to get myself out of this financial hole, and then I will say to myself, right, Will, you're ready. You're ready to bring what everyone's going to understand, and that is a fantastic chocolate bar.
But that's all ahead of him. It's an ambition which can only be realised if Willie can turn success in a single prestigious London department store into a mass-produced product distributed nationwide. If Waitrose doesn't want to place an order, the triumph will be glorious but short-lived. It's been a 15-year ambition, and now the future of Willie's chocolate business depends on the answer.
Hi, Chris, how are you? Good morning. Right. Really? Fantastic. That's just great news. Well, when would you want delivery? What sort of quantities are we talking? Absolutely. I mean, no problem at all, Chris. That is just, well, to be honest with you, that's the best news I've had all day. Thank you very much. Great. Okay, thanks, Chris.
Now, if tonight's show has given you that chocolate craving, indulge it at channel4.com/chocolate. Next, a film premiere to satisfy your movie taste buds. Kim Basinger, William H. Macy, violent kidnap in the thrilling Cellular.